Grand Rising Fight fans, Grand Rising, what's up? What's up? Good morning, good morning. Live from the DMV, live from DC. It's the homie main man, made man off the early morning, man. It's literally about 6 a.m. here, and we up early, man. So we gonna share some boxing thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Hope everybody have a blessed day and the whole nine, you know what I'm saying? Wake up with positive vibes, positive energy in your brain, you know what I mean? Real talk. So, y'all see the topic. The question is, why does Keith Thurman always talk ill or talk bad or seem to ignore Terance Bud Crawford? Why does he do this? You know what I'm saying? This makes a lot of us fans wonder, like, Terance Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, very respected, well-decorated fighter. And whenever it comes to Terance Crawford and Keith Thurman, it almost as if that Keith Thurman almost talks down to Terance Crawford, talks down about Terance Crawford. We all heard the statements that Keith Thurman put out there about Terance Crawford, saying how he was not impressed. And he was saying how, like, Terance Crawford hasn't done this at the weight class, hasn't done that at the weight class. And I wondered, I'm like, yo, how come Keith Thurman, when it comes to Errol Spence Jr., he shows a level of respect there? You know what I mean? When it comes to Sean Porter, he shows a level of respect. Even in Danny Garcia, he shows a level of respect. But when it comes to Terance Crawford, for whatever reason, Keith Thurman never shows this man no respect. And I can't understand it. Why does he ignore Terance Crawford and puts Crawford into this box the way he does? You know what I'm saying? And the way I look at it, it's only could be one reason. And that is Bob Arum. The reason I say Bob Arum is because when you think back through the last few years, when Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao on top, right? You know, when Bob Arum had his stable doing what he had Manny Pacquiao on top, he wouldn't entertain nothing that I want the Pacquiao fight. I'll take Mayweather, I'll take Pacquiao, whatever. But Bob Arum wouldn't even hear it. It's like it'll go in one ear out the other. You know what I mean? Now you fast forward to present day with Terance Crawford, and you see Bob Arum speaking highly about Errol Spence Jr. You know, they've even sent an offer to Danny Garcia, which was turned down. But when it comes to Keith, nothing. They sent them nothing. They've talked. We've heard Terance say he'll take the fight. He'll be down for the fight. But they've sent nothing. Literally nothing. And when you ask Bob Arum about Keith Thurman, it's like he speaks about Keith like, you know, no, we're not interested in Keith. We want Earl. We want Earl. We want Earl. I don't think Bob Arum is willing to send Terance Crawford across the street and do a cross-promotion network thing, something that requires a lot of money, over Keith Thurman. I don't think Bob Arum sees Keith Thurman as a more profitable fighter for Terance Crawford than, say, a Errol Spence Jr., who does have the momentum of the fans right now at his back. The only reason that Bob Arum would be interested in making an Errol Spence Jr. fight, in my opinion, is because of the popularity of Errol Spence Jr. Now, when it comes to Keith Thurman, I must admit, he is not commanding the boxing crowds like that, like Earl probably doing. I'll admit that. And so I don't know if there's much of a financial incentive for Bob Arum to want to send Terance Crawford across the street to face Keith Thurman. And I think Keith takes that to heart. I think when Keith listens to Bob Arum speak on him, you know, talk down, oh, we're not interested in Keith Thurman, they don't do this, like treating him like some second-rated boxer when he sees himself as #1, I think he takes that as some sort of way, and he lashes out at Terance Crawford because of that. When it comes to accomplishments and things like that, you know, you can't argue that Terance Crawford putting work in right now. I mean, he's beating world champions, he's stopping opponents back to back. I mean, it's easy work for Terance. So you can't discredit what he's now done at the weight class. But Keith still does. Keith doesn't even entertain it. He don't want to hear anything about Terance Crawford. He's willing to engage people more about Errol Spence Jr. before Terance Crawford. And Keith now is, you know, he pulls the business talk up now. Oh, well, you know, I can't do no business over there. They on that network. They on this. They doing that over there. It's harder to make the fight. Keith knows deep down where he don't like Bob Arum, bruh. He can't do business with them peoples because they never respected him. That's what it's all about. They never respected him since back in the day. Bob Arum has never took any of his fighters and tried to make a fight with Keith Thurman. And I think Keith, that's the reason that he lashes out at Terance Crawford the way he does. Because he truly believes that that team over there don't respect him. They don't see him as an equal. That's what it is. Look at it, man. Look how they speak about Errol Spence Jr. Look how he speaks on Danny Garcia. You know? He even, whenever Bob Arum doesn't like somebody, he lets it be known. It's not a secret with him. It's well documented and well known. Even look at Manny Pacquiao. Bob takes shots at Manny Pacquiao now because Manny Pacquiao ain't with him. Manny Pacquiao flying right now. UGC, what's up with you, fam? Once a top dog says he's not interested in facing another top dog, that's a wrap. Bob Arum has nothing to do with Keith not wanting Bud smoke. Business talk is the new ducky. But bruh, Bud can't make a fight on his own. You speaking as if Bud has the supreme power in his pocket to make all this fight happen on his own at the snap of a finger. Bud has a promoter. Bud has a contract. Bud has to listen to that promoter. Bud has to fight who his promoter tells him to fight and who his network tell him to fight. And they are not telling him to fight Keith Thurman. Period. I don't know where people get this notion from that these fighters are not controlled. The fighters are controlled, bruh. They can't run out and make a fight on their own. I don't know. That's contrary to popular belief. You know, they took Amir Khan over Keith Thurman. They'll do that any day of the week because of Khan's following. Any day of the week. Now here we are in a position where.
Am I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time? Sure enough.
You know, they can do that, right? But they're not going to do that. You know why? Because Kell Brook is not going to command the certainty that say Earl would. They're not going to do it, bruh. It's the same way. Look, we are in a position today where fans are asking the question of why Terance Crawford is not trying to make a fight with Kell Brook. That's the question that we asking, and that's something we all asking ourselves. You know why? Because they don't feel like they're going to make any money with Kell Brook. It's a damn good fight. It's no whatever. It's no ifs, ands about it. It's a hell of a fight. But they not trying to really make that fight happen. They're looking at budgets. They're looking at, well, how much money we going to make on our return. And they feel the same way about Keith. See, when it comes to Danny Garcia, he can make some money with Danny. Danny got a nice little following out here in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Philly. Danny is also non-black. I hate to say it that way, but it's the facts. They'll do that fight in a heartbeat, fam. They'll do that fight in a heartbeat. But when it comes to Keith, whose fan base is splintered and splattered all over the place, it's not in the greatest numbers in the world. You know what I'm saying? And that fight is very, very much a high-risk fight. And right now, they can't afford for Terance Crawford to take an L to no Keith Thurman. It's all right if it happens with Errol Spence Jr. because they get a check behind it. But when it comes to Keith, they get nothing but ridicule. They don't respect that man, bruh. They don't respect Keith. And Keith, it's as simple as that. And that's why you see the level of vitriol between these two teams, why Keith Thurman can never make a fight with Terance Crawford, man. You know, I'm going to defend him to the end. Hey, man, when it comes to Wilder, you already know. But nah, man, I mean, look, man, we got to put things in perspective, bruh. Let's put it in perspective, you know. Then y'all don't find it really funny how they can't get a fight or get Terance and Keith to see eye to eye on nothing. Y'all don't think it's funny how Bob Arum never, I repeat, never try to send a fighter over to Keith Thurman. Not one. And now all of a sudden he gonna send Terance Crawford. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. So it is what it is, man. I think Terance Crawford's team need to show more respect towards Keith Thurman, and who knows, maybe the final level will give him my opportunity. It is what it is. Yo, man, much love to each and every one of y'all. Y'all see this monster right in front of me I'm about to wrestle with. It's called Traffic Mageddon. Welcome to DC. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed day. The whole nine. Stay sucking stress-free out here, man. All day. Much love to y'all, and I'll be catching up with y'all real soon. Yo, man, Terance Crawford. Man, if you want Keith, send an offer. Bob, send an offer. We ain't heard shit. They ain't sent nothing. It is what it is. To the next video, man. Much love, man. I knew ducks could grow ponytails. You hilarious, bruh. I catch y'all soon, man. Peace out.